rich divorce settlement. So he came up with the topic of no, and also men, yeah, that's the mom, that's the mother of your children, of your 3, 4, 5 children. Yes, she's been with you, yeah, for those who've been with. So basically, rich people divorce settlement, and celebrity divorce settlement, and basically child allowance, or if you can say paying for those who have been there from the beginning. Yeah, she's been with you from the beginning. Yeah, and she birthed your children, she looked after them, she raised them while you were busting your ass, when you were busting your ass. What? So I understand that, it's actually normal for you to look after your children. That's fine. Yeah, you can pay for your children tuitions, you can pay for your children meals, or like everything they need. Yeah, but what I don't understand, yeah, is the other party asking for ridiculous amount for the children and themselves. Excuse me, why would a kid would want, like, to get paid 10K per month, even 20K? Like, what the hell will you buy a kid with that? Come on, what does a kid want? They don't even know what. Like, let's say they're 5 or 6, and the other party is asking for 10,000, 20K allowance monthly. What? That just blows my mind. I cannot understand. I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, I'm 5'6" and I need 20K per month. Keep it. You know why? Because I have my own. It's cool. It's okay. You want to give to your kids, give to your kids. You want to give to your children, give to your children. That's fine. But it's for me, I'm not gonna be like this greedy bitch that will come after your money. No, because I'll have my own. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's what I really, really want us women to do. I know a lot of women these days, thank God, I know a lot of them have woken up, but I still see, a small percentage looking for rich guys to live off them. You see what I mean? And personally, I don't have respect for that. But my main issue is with those who don't do their part. My main issue is with those who come in a relationship and expect to come out of it with half of the other party income, without them bringing anything to it. That's when I'm like, no, that's when it gets ridiculous, really. So that was my 2 cents on divorce settlement. Yeah, another bit that I want to talk about just a little bit, yeah, is child support, like I said in the beginning. So child support, yeah, that's the subject that everyone just don't get when it comes to giving child support. Yeah, and we'll see in media how a lot of people will be attacking the husband or the guy because he's not ready to actually give the woman half of his wealth, because he worked for it, which is fair. He worked for it. When they met, he had that money already, and she came with nothing. So why would he give half of his money to the woman just because, the parting ways, or just because she has his child, or like his children, or something like that? You understand? Sometimes us women, we have to understand that when we go to a marriage, yeah, I know when I say that, yeah, like you become one, but we also have to bring something to the table. You understand? We can't just come empty-handed and suck the person dry just because we hate them, or just because we stop loving them. That's not fair. In my opinion, it's not fair. I think at that point that becomes something else. That become like a personal vendetta. Like, you are not doing that for your kid, you're doing that for yourself. You probably punishing the husband. You're still mad at them that they cheated, that whatever they did, you're still mad at them, and you're going after what they've been working for what they've been working hard for years and years and years, and you using your child to actually get that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, get a job. That brings me back to my point of having your own income, so you wouldn't be in that position, so you wouldn't need it. Even like, actually right now, like what the example that I gave is the women not needing that, because they don't need it. They don't need that money. They actually don't. They just wanna keep on. They just wanna, keep feeding their lifestyle, that lifestyle that they actually adopted after meeting the rich person. You know what I mean? They just want to feed it. So I just we all seen it. We all seen those divorces. We all seen those like rich people divorces. And for us, it's actually mind blowing to think that, oh yeah, I understand that we're not in a person's position, yeah. We're not we not living their life, we don't have their money. But you kinda have to use, so you kinda have to add some morals in there. Like, because you doing that, coming to this person's life that who has worked so hard for his money, and thinking to take it all away just because you have been living with them, just because you have been married to them for like 5 years or something, or just because you have a child with them. That's immoral. I think that's immoral. You understand? So I would say, yeah, if that person is actually was actually an asshole to you or a dickhead to you, yeah, and if that person didn't want you to get any single thing, yeah, that would be a law. That would be debatable, because you actually have the child. But coming from all of it or half of it, that's where I drew the line. That's why I'm like, come on, that's, get a job. Yeah, divorce settlement and child support. So we got into deep, yeah. This is just going to be it's small, a short video, yeah, because I really wanted to get your opinions and see if some of you think like me and my brother, yeah. Again, I'm going to be neutral. I'm not going to take sides here. I'm just gonna pick from both sides, for both parties, and basically be fair, because we know there's a lot of unfairness when it comes to divorce settlement and when it comes to child support, especially in the high-end community. So and also, I'm not a lawyer, yeah, obviously. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if everything I'm going to say will be supported by lawyers or whatever, but it's just my opinion, yeah, from from what I've been saying over the years, and from the results of all those divorce settlements. Good afternoon, my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Nancy Explores. And I hope you are all well. I hope that you are keeping safe and you staying home as much as possible. Again, as you can imagine, right now it's not it's not paradise. It's literally hell everywhere, around the globe. So we're trying to keep positive. We're trying to stay sane, and we're trying to keep occupied. So my job is to occupy you as well as myself with different topics and different just different things to do, such as makeup, fashion, hair. Not travel, unfortunately, because all the borders are literally closed, so we cannot go anywhere, unfortunately. And last but not least, hot topics. So that's why we are here today. Today we're gonna have a hot topic. That's when that party mainly women, I'm sorry girls, but it's true, that's when they become greedy. I think it's because of the lifestyle. They got so used, yeah, they got so accustomed to the lifestyle that they cannot live without it. So when they get divorced from, from the father of the children, yeah, not only they get a divorce settlement, they get their part. On top of that, they're asking for 10, 20K for the children. So what do you call that? Isn't that greediness? Isn't it? And a lot of people, us women, we defend that. You can't defend something like this. It's immoral. It is immoral. It's not for you. You already have your part. Why would you go and ask for 10K, 20K? Why? That is so weird. And that's when people are married. That's when they're actually married. And when they're not married, they still ask for the same amount. Girl, for who? For the kid or for yourself? So she was there through everything. So their relationship is basically one of the examples of coming from the bottom, not we here. Do you understand? Coming from the bottom, now we are here. That's their story. They came from the bottom together, and apparently she was working there as well. They were working together as well. Like, I'm not saying they were partners, but I'm saying she's a big part of his business as well. So she brought something, yeah. So all these people yapping and talking about how it's too much, giving her 70 billion, she deserves it. She actually deserves every single penny, because she was actually there from the beginning, you understand? And he broke the vows, not her. He cheated. So you want her to walk away, to walk away with what, 20%? No, she's gonna walk away with 50. That's when I actually take sides. That's when I take, if the amount is justified, yeah, considering all the sacrifice and everything the other party have done for that person to accumulate that wealth or that money, it's fair to give that person half. I'm sorry, especially if you have spent years and years together. You see what I mean? So today we are going to explore a hot topic. Basically, you know what? This came really randomly, yeah. I'm gonna tell you about my morning routine. So I wake up, I check my phone, obviously, like everyone else, and I check my WhatsApp, yeah. And there's me and my family, me and my siblings, have this like daily habit to talk about, about any subject, about everything, about daily things or things that happens around the world, on a regular. So today I think what we're talking about first. Today we were first talking obviously about the lockdown and about the restrictions of movement or of doing this, of doing that. So basically just staying home, yeah. But my brother, as usual, comes up with really interesting subjects, and the one that came up was basically divorce settlement, mainly celebrity divorce settlement or rich people divorce settlement, and how do you call that, so talking about jobs, yeah, women, yeah, and this is for my sisters, this is for my queens, this is for my fellow women, yeah. I would say to you, yeah, do not go into a relationship or a marriage or whatever to expect being dependent, yeah. That this is 2020. This is not like the 1920s or the 1950s where women were fully dependent on the husband. So we are independent women, yeah. We had our emancipation, we had our independency, so we can work for ourselves. I always say, yeah, my like, you know what, I've been working since I was 16, 17, yeah, and I cannot fathom yeah, to let a man take care of me. I don't care how much money he has. Why? Because people change. You don't know how you're gonna end up at the end of the line. You see what I mean? At the end of the relationship, you have no idea how you're gonna end up. So you like depending completely to the person, not even working, not even thinking of generating your own income is unconservable. Like it's mad. Why would you think that at this time and age? Why? So contrary to that, there are men and women who come into a marriage just for greediness. They're calm. They know that person has money. They know that person, can give them the life that they always wanted. They're calm, and they some of them hide their true intentions. You see what I mean? They're coming just like they lick balls and stuff. Sorry for. Sorry, but it's true. They just come to that they do that, and then they pretend to love the person and all that, and at the end, after 5 years down the line, and they make sure that they have children with the person, and then 5 years down the line, when they're like, yeah, I've done my part, it's time for me to actually get out of here, but I'm not just gonna go empty-handed. I'm gonna take half of that person's. I'm like, half? Come on, it's not your money. You haven't done it. You haven't. Why? What makes you like? They just become so entitled. Like, yeah, I had these children. I went through pregnancy and everything, so I deserve that. No, honey, you don't deserve that. You deserve some of it, but you don't deserve to actually take half or even more of the person's money. That you being spiteful. That's actually being spiteful. Anyway, we know how it starts here. Boy meets girls, they fall in love, and they get married, or maybe not, or they have a child, and boy and girl start falling out of love after a few years, and girl, oh boy, asks for divorce, and that's when all hell breaks loose. So one of the examples that me and my brother were talking about that we used was the Adele, Adele the singer, divorced from her husband. And in the newspapers that I have seen the story, or the social media, it says that they were trying to settle her 140 million wealth. And at first there was a little bit of confusion between me and my brother. Yeah, he thought that basically they were settling. The husband was going to get 140 million from her 190 million wealth, or net. And I kind of corrected it, because from what I saw, it says 140. She was worth 140 million, and they were trying to settle that. I told my brother, yeah. I told him I'm the kind of. It's true, actually. It's true. I'm the kind of woman, yeah. When I break up with you, like, I'm gone. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. I don't want. I don't want your money. You understand? So first of all, I will not be in that position where I have nothing to fall back to. I will not. Like I said, I always worked, so it's in my DNA now to look after myself. You see what I mean? So me and you, when we're done. Unless we have children, fine. But when we don't have children, we're done. Like, you're dead to me. I don't know you anymore. Call it being like, bitter. I'm not even bitter. That's how I am. I move on, and I forget about you. I forget about your face. I forget about everything. I wouldn't even remember what you look like. No, depending on how many years we've been together, yeah. But still, so I wouldn't even want to touch your money. I wouldn't. I'll be like, listen, get it over with. I want to be out. If you want to give me some, give me some. If you don't want, fine. I already have my own. I already have my own. You see what I mean? I already have my coins. I don't need coins. You have to be in that position that you don't need it. You know, you don't. Because you don't. It's 2020, girls. Come on. She looked after them when you were busting your ass working day and night. She made sure that you weren't stressed. She made sure that you weren't disturbed. She was there for you. And at the end, when you two not working, when you're not working anymore, when your relationship doesn't work anymore, you can't even give her like something. Some men are actually spiteful. It's true. Some of them refuse to give like at least 10%. They refuse. That, nah. That's where I also draw the line. Like, come on, you have to think about her. You have to think about your children. You have to. She's the mother of your children. You can't just leave her penniless. That's like, same with women. Same. So, it is difficult. I know that I haven't been in that situation. I know that I haven't been, in those, rich people world, but that's the thing. I will make everything, from everything that I have seen, from everything that I've witnessed, I will not put myself in that position. I would make sure that I am hustling myself. I'll make sure that I'm getting my own coins. I'll make sure that I'm working my ass to have my own full bank account that would sustain myself and the children in a situation like this. You cannot go to battle, without having some type of without harming yourself, or without arming yourself. You can't. You have to have some kind of backup to fall into if everything blows out. You see what I mean? So you have to be rational. You can't just think like, oh, I married this guy, oh, he's really rich, and oh, we love each other. Yes, in the beginning there's love. Obviously, in every relationship there is love. So you fall in love, you're like, oh yeah, no. Even though that person tells you not to work, nah, girl, you don't make your own coins, because you never know. That give you that power. Working for yourself or making your own money is power to yourself. So no one will have power over you. No one will control you. You understand? So you have to think about that when you get into a relationship. No matter how much money that person have, you have to work for yourself for situations like this. You see what I mean? Because if you don't work, even though there was love involved, and you end up with a divorce, and you come in and asking for what you deserve, people will judge you on that as well. They'll say, oh, what did she bring on the table? She never worked in her life since she's been with him. She never worked, but she's asking for half. She's being greedy, Even though you're not being greedy, even though you actually deserve that, but you should have something for yourself. I always say, personally, I can't depend on someone. I can't depend on a man, personally. I don't care how much he has, I do not, Personally, I cannot depend on a man. Because I can work for myself. I can. And I like that freedom. I like that independency, that financial freedom that I have as a woman. You see what I mean? So you have to literally deprogram that mindset that you have, of depending on a husband or depending on a partner. That's not how it is. You have to do something when you end up like in divorce. So you think 140 million, that's a lot of money, right? And obviously we know that's not the only celebrity couple that have been going through, that are going or have been going through a really public divorce. They all go through public divorce, like 90%. So this one, when we were discussing it, so we start talking about how unfair it was on the men to pay that much money to the woman, putting the Adele story aside. Just now we're just talking in general, how unfair it was for the men to be paying the woman that much money, and how equality wasn't paid part of it, because my brother said that a lot of women always screams that, oh yeah, he deserves it, she should go after his money, she should go after all of it, after everything she has done for him, and blah blah blah. But most of the part we forget about the man and how hard that person has been working for his money, to let someone that he met, they haven't even spent like 20 years together, for her to come into his life and try to literally suck him dry. You know what I mean? You see that that's the bit that we were trying to understand, yeah? So my 2 cents is it's completely ridiculous. First of all, the ridiculous part is you marry that person, yeah? You marry that person, and maybe you have one child, maybe you have two, but it's only been 5 years, yeah? And then when you decide to divorce for whatever reason, the person comes and try to get half of everything that you have worked for years before meeting her. You see the unfairness that I'm trying to make you understand there. A lot of I'm just saying that some women are they're just so greedy. They get into this lifestyle they never had before, yeah. They get into this lifestyle, and they want to maintain the lifestyle, and the only way to maintain it is to actually get half of the husband or their partner's wealth. So let's go back to Adele, yeah. So I think Adele already made a fortune before she met her husband. If I'm not mistaken, she already had made a fortune, yeah. So the husband came along, and they get married, and they have one child, I think. And now that they're divorced, apparently they're trying to split her fortune in the middle, to give to the husband. I'm just wondering, like, she met the money by herself when she wasn't married, yeah. Why would he get half? I just don't understand those laws. I just don't get it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just on her side. It's basically for both parties, for men and women. Why is a person who has been working all their lives share half of their money with their partner, who they only literally spend like 10 years. I know 10 years is a lot, but still, what has that person been doing all this time? So it's just a complicated subject. It is a complicated subject. Another example that my brother gave, yeah, was how what's his name? How the owner of Amazon, yeah, how he gave his wife like 70 billion or 30 billion, 70 billion, I'm not sure, of his wealth. And he was joking, by the way. He was joking, he wasn't serious about it. He was like, he gave her all that money, but that's too much. Why would he give her that money? I'm saying, listen, that woman, yeah, was with him from the beginning. So when he didn't have all this money, yeah, he was with her. When he started Amazon in that little office, yeah, he was already married to her. And he gave her children. They're all grown up now. She gave him children. She gave him children. They're all grown up now. And you have to take in account all of the sacrifices that the woman has made. Yeah, he broke his vows. Yeah, and she's supposed to walk away with what, like 10 billion of how much is he worth again? 100 and something billion. Come on. I also know that it can be hard when you get into that lifestyle, yeah. When you start like testing the lifestyle, yeah. I can understand that it can be hard for you to go back to the life that you used to have. You have all this money coming in, so you telling yourself like, oh, I don't need to work. actually, I don't need to work. Like, I have his kids, so he can take care of us. So he says that he can take care of us. So I actually don't need to work. It's fine. I'm just gonna chill and relax. Like, you have to think that at the end of the tunnel, because you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if this, you don't know if this honeymoon will last 10-20 years. You have to be prepared. Always be prepared. Do not let your guard down, because people change. You never know. We've seen examples of those couples that have been together for 20-30 years, and then the man, like, just go through some middle-age crisis and start going out with like little girls, like women that are like twice like younger than their wives, and it end up in divorce. You see what I mean? So you don't know that. You don't know if that person's gonna cheat. You don't know if that person's gonna do something. No, never ever. I always say myself, never put 100% in, like, trust. Like, don't trust 100%, because you do not know the person fully in and out. There are layers and layers and layers of people personalities, and those personalities, those traits change over the years. So you don't know how the person's gonna end up. You understand? That they might wake up one day and say that, oh, I don't love you anymore, I met someone else, so yeah, no, that's it, we're done. You don't know that. So you have to be prepared. You have to not just prepare yourself financially, but you have to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. You understand? I know it's hard. I know it hurts. Yeah, I know it hurts when the person that you have loved over the years, you have looked after, you have given children, the person that you have supported, just wake up and change his mind like that. That can drive you crazy. I know it. I'm a woman too. Like, I understand. But you also have to be, rational and logical and think, okay, if that happens, yeah, because the way I'm seeing his behavior changing over the years, yeah, he might end up hating me or something if I still try to, like, hang on or whatever, yeah. He might start resenting me. He might start seeing me as an obstacle, yeah, and that might end up nothing. I've seen stories like that. So you have to think about that. You have to use all those experiences and add it into your plans, that into your projections, because you actually don't know what's gonna happen. You have to shield yourself from that. So you have to be prepared. Never go 100% in, ever. So that's what I'm saying. Don't just sit there and wait for it to happen and for you to go through like ongoing divorce, like battle and court and settlement for years and years and years, because some of them can go up to like 10 to 15 years. It's ridiculous. So all that will drain your energy, all that will like exhaust you. So you need to be prepared. You need to you need to create your own income. You have to. You actually have to. You understand? So you wouldn't be in that position. I just find it like you should have some pride as well. Like, pride pride plays a role in there as well, because like I said, in my personality, the way I know myself, yeah, if I get to that, I'll just want it to be, over as soon as possible. Like, and I wouldn't want anything from that person. I wouldn't. I actually wouldn't. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that was it. It was just I just wanted to chat a little bit, because that got into me this morning when I was talking to my brother. Yeah, so we were agreeing and disagreeing. So basically, we were agreeing to disagree on a lot of on the subject. So he was giving me his opinion, I was giving my opinions, and we were agreeing or we were disagreeing. So yeah, so that's just like it's an ongoing discussion. This is just something. It's not just something to talk by myself. Actually, I actually need people to discuss with. So that's why I come to you guys. Comments, let your comments and let your opinions, your views, what you think about that. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, or if you're team girl or team man. No, but for me, there's no team because both parties are losing. You see, they're both losing. The only victims are the kids, are the children. It's always been the children. So don't use your children to actually, to fight against each other. That's not fair on them, and that's being a bad parent. That's just being a bad parent. Do your part separately. He has his money. You to work, do your part. You to have your money. You can have a joint account, fine, whatever. But also have your side account. I'm telling you, I'm talking to my women, to my sisters. Have your side account. Your side income as well, so that you won't be you won't be in that situation, and you won't end up resenting and hating the father of your children. That just settle it the best way possible. Settle it the best way possible, and for you to actually be in that position in that way, you have to have some security for yourself. You see, if you like that, if you know that you have your own and you don't depend on him and you don't need him, that divorce wouldn't be a big problem. That settlement, it wouldn't be a big problem. No matter how money they have, because you have your own. You understand? So please, ladies, think about it and all this stuff. Well, I hope you don't I hope you don't end up divorced. Obviously, I hope you don't. But I'm just saying, if it happens, be prepared. Thank you, guys. That was all I wanted to chat to you about today. Just a little chit chat, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video kind of highlight and highlight the key parts of what to do next for you and for your children and for your family. And yeah, so it's just like, take it as an advice, take it as an opinion. It's up to you, but that's what that was my thought, really. So have a beautiful day, have a beautiful rest of the day. It's beautiful outside. Actually, it's really sunny, and I know it's really hard for people to stay inside because of that, but just try the best as you can. It's a really hard time. It's a really it's hell. Like I said from the beginning, it's hell. So just try to make the best as you can, and we'll overcome it together. We will. This will not be the end. We will. So thank you, guys, and I hope to see you in my next video. And yeah, peace and love.